it's a silly hippie argument that everybody needs psychedelics, but it's not everybody. I'm not saying everybody needs them, but goddamn, a lot of people could use them. A lot of people. If they would just study them and they would just distribute them through experts. Imagine what this world would be like if we had centers where you could go as a young man to have a psychedelic experience to get a broader view of the universe. And someone takes you in and they do blood work on you and make sure you're healthy. And then they sit you down and you watch documentaries and you take a class. And when you graduate from the class, and the class is all about pharmacology and the way that different things interact with your body. And when you're done with this class, you feel educated and you feel like you can make your own decision whether or not you want to try this. And if you do want to try it, then they have a ceremony. And every kid goes in there, and you all, with proper meditation techniques, proper education as to what the history of the use of these substances is, and the history and the anecdotal evidence that it may have been responsible for the actual birth of religion, that this might be what religion is all about. It might be psychedelic experience. If we could have that, we could have communities where we did that, where you'd have a big, giant football field full of people that are doing mushrooms and are putting out positive energy and are there and are balanced, healthy people that want to unite together as a species and want to embrace each other and help each other, and no one ever get greedy, but let's all work together and do this together. And you could have a football field filled with people doing this, a stadium filled with people doing this.
Yeah.
That would fix the world. And it sounds ridiculous. It sounds like you're saying mushrooms would fix the world. What would do it better? What could possibly have that effect? Education? Education doesn't necessarily get through your subconscious. Education doesn't necessarily get through your programming.
Sex.
Education doesn't necessarily get through anything in your life that's really ingrained as a behavior pattern. It doesn't always. You could tell people all day, like Brian, that cigarettes cause cancer, and this silly goof is going to keep buying cigarettes.
Probably more than mushrooms.
No, it wouldn't. Mushrooms would do it better than anything. Sex is just... there's no enlightenment involved in that, Brian. It's silly. The psychedelic experience itself is important. You need to be humbled. It's not just, everybody fuck everybody and feel good about it.
Yeah, but we've talked about this before when Duncan was on, and that might be good for like 5 out of 10 people, and the other 5, they're so terrified they're not going to ever leave the house again.
That's not necessarily the case, because if it was done correctly through some sort of a shamanic center where they actually evaluated people and taught them and educated them, you'd probably be able to weed out the people who were fucked up. And you'd probably be like, dude, reality itself is a little fucking slippery for you. Maybe you should not be doing this.